All right, this is gonna be a really quick video on naked Forex, 1 minute chart, 5 minute chart, 15-minute chart, and then I'm gonna hop from the 15-minute chart to the 1 hour chart. I don't scalp off the 1 minute chart, but I'm just gonna show you based on my input on naked Forex and price action and candlesticks. And this is USD JPY here on TradingView. You can see that the very highest price so far that it reached during New York sessions at the very, I think it was like at the last 2-3 hours of New York sessions before it closed on Friday. It reached all the way up to 112.070, and then it started retracing all the way back down to 111.8. So you're talking about 20 pip, yeah. Pretty much like a 20 pip drop from here. So this is the yeah, like I said, this is New York sessions based on the 1 minute chart, and this is like the last couple hours of New York sessions where USD JPY was going up, hit a pretty high price of 112, end up going retracing down all the way down to 111.89. All right, so how do you determine based on the 1 minute chart? Well, it gets kind of tricky, especially looking at the 1 minute chart. If you were to just to zoom back out, you can see this is a really massive bearish engulfing candle, hit all the way down to 111.6, and then a massive move all the way up here to 112. So 40 pip gain from here. Then if you want to be exact, it was a 44 pip gain. So if you're looking at the structure of the candles, you can see you don't want to just sell because of this 1 minute structure of the candle going down pretty hard. And you don't want to get too confused looking at this, because if you're so caught on with the 1 minute chart, then you're not really looking ahead of the higher time frames. So I'm going to hop into the 5 minute and the 15 minute so you kind of get so that you can see what I'm talking about here. So this is the 5 minute, okay? Same setup, pinned down. The bulls came back, took almost half the candle. It came back here, build support. This would be another opportunity to buy, and you can see it broke this resistance here because this went up here and then kept going up. Anytime it breaks some kind of breakout, where it's a false breakout or a massive breakout, whatever it is, bearish breakout, bullish breakout, obviously you're looking for it to create that resistance and support so that you can find that foundation, or you can find the next price that is trying to break. So you can see if you were to buy USD JPY from Sunday and you held it all the way till Friday, you're in the green. And so, but I'm not. That's just my base weekly analysis for weekly swinging. But if you want to scalp, you're gonna have to learn how to read these candles, and you're gonna have to read the support and resistance that's coming behind it. And once you understand that, then you look at the overall structure. You can still see that it's still trying to push up. Yes, it was a massive pullback for the retracement going back down to 111.8. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys the 15-minute chart. If you look at the 15-minute chart, you can see this is the first day of March. Okay. First day of March was Friday. And you can see it's been uptrending. And you can see that Thursday, it got shot all the way down here to 110.7 and went all the way up to 112. So you're talking about 130 pip gain. Yeah, 130 pip gain here. from Thursday and up until, the end of Friday, that very last hour where it shot above 112. Yeah. So very interesting that you can see that the 15-minute chart is really, really easier. To me, it's a little bit easier and more simplified on looking at the candlestick structure, finding support, finding resistance, and finding that trend. Okay, so I'm going to say this one more time. Finding support, resistance, trend. The most important thing is that you need to identify where the price is going to create that trend structure, because that candlestick structure is creating the trend for you. So if you're not following the trend and you're constantly scalping in and out all the time, you're going to get caught up on saying that, oh, well, I think I'm going to get in on their sell position and resell it again. Why would you want to do that or rebuy it again? When it's reached at its peak at the very highest price, when it's oversold, okay, and then when it's at the very bottom, when it's creating that support structure. You can see what I'm outlining here is that there's a lot of support here, and then a massive breakout. That's my go-to to keep buying it. Not wasting my time scalping anymore. I don't want to waste my time scalping if I identify the first breakout and then find that trend structure and just follow the trend. And a lot of people get caught up on just trying to scalp in and out all the time. You can if you want to, but I mean, if you were to follow this trend, you're making money on the uptrend. And yes, it had a little pullback here at the end of the day, but I mean, if you bought it here and held all the way up here, you're in the green, you're in the blue. If you were to scalp, okay, let's just say you saw a massive bullish breakout, so you bought it. Okay, we bought it, and then it stumbled here, so then you sell it, right? How much of a sell in pips are you going to make off of this? From 111.4 to 111.3, that's that's 10 pips. Okay, so that's 10 pips that you want to gain on a sell, right? That's if you even get 10 pips. So if you don't get 10 pips and it ends up going back up, guess what? The next wave, okay, this cleared through this resistance here and then went back down, and then now you want to sell again because you see it dropping back. So you think it's a good confirmation of selling it. If you sell it, how is that a really strong confirmation of a strong sell? You can see that it's just continuing up, breaking resistance, past resistance, breaking past resistance, breaking past resistance here, and this creating a new high, came back down as a pullback, went back in, and it targeted a little bit higher than this one at 112. Let's count the wick at 112, almost 112.1. So another 10 pip gain off the wick. That's why if you just choose to scalp for 8 to 10 hours or for more than that, and you're not looking at the overall structure of the trend, your 15-minute chart it can be really resourceful and find these little trend structures, so that you don't have to be looking at the markets all the time trying to be like, oh well, I need to figure out if it's gonna keep going up or down. You're gonna have to learn how to build your patience, your mindset, and you're gonna have to learn how to swing long term eventually. Unless all you want to do is scalp. The most beneficial way of making a lot of money when you're scalping is using 5 standards, 10 standards, 20 standards, 30. I'm talking about 5 lots, 10 lots, 20 lots, 30 lots, 50 lots. I'm talking all standard lot sizes, because when you catch small pips at a standard lot versus a micro lot, it's more money. You're paying off your commissions and your spreads, so it doesn't matter. And so when most people, I'll tell you right now, if you're scalping and you're just using micro lots all the time, you're not making the most amount of money that you're supposed to make. Now you have to learn how to start stacking and adding multiple positions. I don't ever scalp with with more than one position when I'm scalping, because I'm entering mini lots like 0.10 or 0.25 or 0.50, 0.75, because I want to pay off the spreads and the commissions right away, so that when I catch my pips, then I'm making my money. It doesn't make sense to scalp off micro lots. If that's what you want to do, you're not really going to make much. I'll just be honest right now. So you're going to have to define by looking at these time frames. And if all you want to do is just scalp, be my guest. You're going to have to experience it live trading. I mean, if you want to do demo, that's fine, but all my scalping in the beginning was all live trading. I didn't demo anything out for my scalping. I lost a lot of money, but a month later, that's when I flipped 350 to 26,000. 80% of that profit was on scalping, but it was really, really high. It was mostly just standard lots that I was scalping off. 4 lots, 6 lots, 8 lots, even 10 lots. It's crazy. But I was making the money that I wanted to make scalping. So if that's what you want to do, you have to work your way up to scalp with standard lots. And you're going to have to learn to adjust with these time frames. And what I'm showing you is naked Forex price action candlesticks. When I identify a trend off these lower time frames, especially the 15-minute chart, I would hop from the 1 minute to the 15-minute, and then the 15-minute to the 1 hour, and then the 1 hour to the 4 hour. I don't look at the 5-minute. I don't look at the 30-minute. And that was a couple years back. Right now, since I'm more focused, I'm like 90 to like 95% swinging. And 5-10% of the time I would scalp, but mostly that's just high impact news. So you guys have to understand that I'm not wasting my time trying to be in my home office all day staring at the freaking screen and trying to scalp all day. That's not the person I want. That's not the person that I want to be, 2 years ago. And so if you take the time to study price action and candlesticks and look for these trends, and you spot these little trends, especially on the 15-minute chart, outline this 15-minute. Okay, hold on. I did a couple tutorials on this. High price, and let's just locate it all the way down here, right here. Okay, and I'm going to show you the 1 hour, how this works out pretty well. 15-minute lines up pretty well with the 1 hour. Notice that I haven't moved my horizontal lines. I know this is a little bit off, but this works out perfectly on this support price right here. Massive bullish move, another 3 bullish candles, and then a retracement candle. Okay. Very, very important to line up your 15-minute with your 1 hour. If you're using indicators, moving averages, alligators, Bollinger Bands, RSI, MACD, I can't stress enough, but you're going to have to figure out what your primary indicator is and what your secondary indicator is that you follow the most. If you're not going to study and learn naked Forex. If you're not going to try and learn naked Forex, you're going to have to figure out what your primary and secondary indicator is. Without that, all you're doing is just lining up a bunch of confirmations from different set of indicators, and then you're all confused because then your technical is thrown off, because your technical analysis is based on all these indicators that you put on. Now you don't know where you want to put your entries and your exits. Very, very important to spot these on if you find a confirmation. And if you're afraid to go all in on your confirmation, that's fine. Test out a position at a 0.01 micro lot size on a buy or a sell position, whether you see an uptrend or a downtrend or some kind of breakout, wherever it is. Test out a position to see if you're making money or losing money. And you're risking a 0.01 micro lot size. You're risking a penny to see where the direction is going. That's very important. When I was hedging, I would put a 0.01 buy and a 0.01 sell on USD/JPY when I was flipping 350 to 26,000, all on USD/JPY, because I wanted to know where the direction was going for the whole week, not for the day, for the whole week. I was willing to risk 2 cents, 2 pennies to make thousands. Some people don't understand that. You're gonna have to find how much risk you're willing to take in this forex trading. It's no matter what you're doing in trading, you're always taking that kind of risk. But you can minimize the risk if you look ahead and if you look at where you're trying to spot on your entries. And so everything that I'm relating to is naked forex, candlesticks, and price action, and these 2 horizontal lines lining up from the 15-minute to 1 hour. And like I said, I'm pretty much 90% swinging. So I don't really waste my time looking at the 5-minute, 1 minute, 15-minute. Sometimes I look at the 15-minute if I want to look at some scalping entries. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm not really into fundamentals as I used to be before. I'm more 80%, 80-90% more technical analysis. A technical trader now versus a fundamental trader. So it's a huge reversal for me, learning naked forex last year in the summertime in July and up until now. And so I have to say that naked forex is by far, for me, the best strategy method for me that I've learned so far in my 2 years of trading. And if you want to get there fast, read the first 2 chapters of Naked Forex and read the first 2 chapters of the Candlestick Bible. That way you get some kind of input on what I'm talking about and what I'm relating back to you guys. So very important to define your own methods within learning something, whether it's from me or from the book or from someone else. Not their method and my method or the book's method is not going to give you 100% winning ratio, but it will give you some kind of insight to where you can test and apply so that you can retest these strategies and keep retesting and applying all the methods. And then you're going to find, your scalping, your swinging, and your happy median in trading. And then you're going to have your own method of trading. And the best thing is you always want to be an adaptable trader. So you got to be willing to adapt and adjust to the markets Monday through Friday, no matter what happens. So there you guys have it. Hope I didn't confuse nobody, but if I did, let me know. So hope this really helps you guys out. I got a bunch of family that just came by, so see you guys later.